In this video, I will talk about self-inquiry or inquiry more generally speaking, and why it is very often frustrating or seeming to fail for people. Now, when I say inquiry, I simply mean any question that points us towards the nature of experience, to the nature of being. So a question like that could be, who am I? What am I? What is this? And of course there are many variations of these questions. Very commonly, what happens is that people ask themselves a question such as, who am I? And they are not quite sure what they are supposed to do with it. Am I supposed to look for something? Am I supposed to not find something? Am I supposed to find the absence of something? And these kinds of doubts or questions are, of course, quite understandable. The key to making self-inquiry truly work, then, is to have the correct starting position. We are starting at the result level, meaning that the baseline understanding is that who and what we are is already complete, is already not lacking anything, already can't be enhanced, is simply this presence. And so self-inquiry in this context is not getting us anywhere, is not adding anything to our experience or removing anything from our experience. Self-inquiry simply is a useful tool to see through the constructions that seem to hide this completeness. So self-inquiry, therefore, is not something we do for its own sake. It is only a very powerful tool in order to see through the limiting beliefs and constructions that may be present, and to then come to rest again in this completeness of being that was never truly lost. So having this understanding makes it clear that the correct inquiry to use is the one that's relevant to your current experience. Maybe who am I is the perfect question for you right now, because you really are fixated on being a separate self in this moment. But maybe there is a different fixation present. Maybe the fixation that's present for you right now is, I need to be free of all resistance. So when we have that kind of construction, there is an I to inquire into, but there also is the need to be, the desire, and there is the resistance. So these are all possible objects of inquiry, things to look into, we could say. And how do we look into these constructions? Well, simply by dropping them into this awake open presence, and then allowing any part of us that is here and available, that is curious, to look for that object, to look for that construction. And if we look for the I, we look for the self, we simply don't find it. We don't find an I. We don't find a separate entity that is running the show, that is thinking thoughts. that is planning and taking action. But here's the crucial thing. We also don't find the absence of that I. And this is a very subtle but important point. Because if we think we are supposed to find some kind of void or gap or absence where we believe the I to be, then we will be frustrated. We will think that we still need to find something. I need to find this void, this no self. But what is that? What is the absence of the thing that doesn't exist? It would be like me saying, there is an object, and I don't know what it is. I've never seen it or felt it. Now go look for it, or look for the absence of that object. As you can see, this instruction simply cannot be resolved. I don't know what I'm supposed to look for, and I cannot find the absence of the thing of which I don't know what it is. So naturally, yes, you look for the I, you cannot find it. You cannot even find the absence of it. So where does that leave you? What is revealed when we cannot find the construction or the absence of that construction? It is simply this completeness, which we have never lost. So the mind, in a way, couldn't confirm the presence of this construction, nor could it deny the presence of that construction. The construction simply couldn't be found. That's it. It really is that simple. And so that drops us into this deep, vast not knowing, where nothing is missing, and this is simply complete.